Hello, welcome to Seshi's online maths tutoring. We are taking a different question on probability. A bag contains 7 yellow balls and 5 red balls. One ball is taken from the bag at random and is not replaced. A second ball is then taken from the bag. Determine the probability that A. Both balls are red, B. Both balls are of the same color, C. The balls are different colors, D. At least one ball is yellow. Now, take note of these. 2 balls are selected. After the first selection, whatever was selected was not replaced. So this is a probability question without replacement. So we can use the tree diagram to solve it. So the balls selected are yellow and red. So we can have our first, which has yellow, and then we also have the red. And our second selection, based on the first selection being yellow, can be yellow or it can also be red. And our second selection, based on the premise that the first is red, can also be yellow or it can be red. So let's take our probabilities of yellow. Don't forget, probability is simple, whatever you are looking out for out of the total. So 7 yellow balls and the total is what? 7 plus 5, 12. So these yellow balls will be 7 out of 12. And the red balls will be 5 out of the total 12. Now, with the second selection, it is based on the first selection being yellow. It means that that selection being yellow was not replaced. So the yellow balls are going to reduce by 1. So prior to our second selection, our yellow balls will now be 6. And our red balls will still be 5 because we've not selected any red ball yet. Total balls will now be 11. So selecting yellow from this will be the yellow ball 6 out of total 11. And the red ball should also be 5 out of the total 11. Now, the second selection down here is based on the premise that our first selection is red. It means that our yellow balls are still intact at 7, but our red balls, because the first selection was red and not replaced, our red balls will also decrease by 1 and now becoming 4. Our total balls are now 11. So yellow selection here is 7 out of total 11, and the red should be 4 out of total 11. So now, if you want the first branch, yellow, and that should be yellow and which is multiplication yellow. Then you have yellow red, and that should be yellow which is 7 out of 12 and which multiplication red 5 out of 11. Then we have red yellow, red which is 5 out of 12 and yellow which is 7 out of 11. And we'll have red which is 5 out of 12 for the first selection, and the second selection is 4 out of 11. Now you are good to solve the question. The first question says that both selections are red. Both are red. So for both to be red, it should be red. And that is down here as 5 out of 12 times 4 out of 11. You can divide across 4 here, 1, 4 there, 3. 5, 1, 5, 3, 11, 33. And that ends the solution to question 1. Second question says, both balls are of the same color. If they are of the same color, then both can either be yellow or both can be red. So same color, both can be yellow, which is 7 out of 12 times 6 out of 11, or which is addition. Then we can have red, which is 5 out of 12 times 4 out of 11. So you can divide across. So you have 7, 1, 7, 2, 11, 22. 4 here, 1, 4 there, 3. That's 5, 1, 5, 3, 11, 33. If we look at our LCM, how do you find LCM with ease? What can divide these two numbers to their remainder? 11 can do. Divide the 22 by the 11, you have 2. Divide this by 11, you have 3, and that becomes the LCM, and that's a 66. So with 66, how many times 22 divides 66? 3 times. 3 times our numerator, 21. 33 will divide 66 twice. 2 times 5 is 10. And that is going to be 31 out of 66. Nothing can reduce it, and we end that. The C is asking, the balls are different colors. If they are different colors, it can be yellow red or red yellow. So yellow red is 7 out of 12 by 5 out of 11, or which is an addition, 5 out of 12 red yellow, and then 7 out of 11. So this, nothing divides. 7 5 35, 12 11 is 1 32, 35 again here, 12 11 is what, 132. Same denominator, so we can add our numerator 70 out of 100 denominators. We can reduce this. 2 divides 70 35 times, 2 divides 132 66 times, and that ends it. Nothing else can divide, and that ends it. The last question, question D. At least one ball is yellow. At least one ball is yellow. So that can be yellow, 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 red, red, yellow. So that should be yellow, yellow, 7 out of 12 times 6 out of 11, or yellow, red, 7 out of 12 times 5 out of 11, or yellow, yellow, which is, sorry, yellow, yellow, 7 out of 12 times 6 out of 11, yellow, red, 7 out of 12 times 5 out of 11, then red, yellow, 5 out of 12 times 7 out of 11. So you can divide across, and that is 7 out of 22. This is 35 out of 132, and that should also give us 35 out of 132. You can find our LCM. 132 should be our LCM, because 22 can divide 132. So 22 into 132 is 6 times 6, 7, 42. 132 into 132 is 1. 1 by 35 is 35. 132 here is also 1 by 35 is 35. This gives you 70. And 42 plus 70 is 112 out of 132. 2 can divide this 56 times. 2 divides this 66 times. 2 divides this 28 times. 2 divides that 33 times. So our answer is 28 out of 33.